Hi guys, we are going for a walk today because we have some thinking to do, and thinking is something that I find it hard to force, so we have to prepare the conditions for it to happen, for thoughts to arise. And it's a bit of a weird combination for me actually, because I find that I think very well when I drive and when I walk, or when I pace around in circles inside. But I also think constructively when I talk to someone, talk out loud. I haven't told you this yet, but I'm a psychologist. I'm too restless and childish to stay in one place, so I'm currently doing everything else but working as a psychologist, as you can see. But it's a part of me, and it might have shaped me a bit less than I used to think, maybe as well. But it's not surprising that I would say that I like to talk, to think. However, with you guys, I get to talk and walk to think. So that's pretty good. That's a surprising benefit of this little project of mine, actually. So I thought, let's bring you guys for a walk. The other day, I went back to our old friend Borre Golf Club. And you probably don't know this yet, but that was a special experience for me. Until now, I just put out a video where I edited the whole round, and whenever with passage of time you watch this, something else might be out as well. But at the time of recording this, I haven't told anyone anything about how I felt about that first round at Borre. And even more importantly, how I felt approaching that first round. So I'll get to that in a minute. But so I went back to Borre before I got to analyze the first round with you, because I have a playing partner who is a member there, so it's really convenient for me to drive there and play with him. And then I found myself in a very special situation of being headed back to Borre for the second time after starting this project, this journey. Krokket is getting good at golf. And the reason why that is special, to understand that we have to go back quite a bit. But I need to frame this a little bit. Maybe I'll cut it out, because who knows? Maybe not. That's kind of the point of this. Ooh, let's see. I don't know. Maybe I can figure it out afterwards. So let's just start somewhere. I was going to Borre for the second time now this spring. And I thought I want to bring you guys along for a kind of a type of videos that are like this, heart to heart, stream of consciousness. I had another word for it, or expression name for it. Confessions, maybe. Consulting the inner consortium was another one. It's pretty dorky, but I love it. We'll see what I use. I think Me, Myself, and I could be a good title, and then we could just have endless amounts of episodes. And the reason why is because I decided to get good at golf. And surprise, surprise, golf is a pretty mental game. So getting good at it proves to be as much a mental exercise as a physical, I think. And that's very interesting to me because for what is now quite obvious reasons, I'm very interested in whatever goes on inside. So I was driving to Bora, I put up my camera in the car, and I just started talking. I just wanted to see where it went. And what was interesting was that I kind of fumbled it technically, which is okay. I didn't even, realize it until later, but I obviously prioritized safety while driving and not breaking any laws. So I thought I did it. I thought I recorded it. I didn't in a satisfying manner. So I was a little bit bummed out because I could hear that it could have been a good one. So I prepared. I thought, okay, let's start over. I know what I was talking about. I got the audio though, so I even printed it out and went through it a bit. I brought it as a kind of, not a script, because it's a backup. Maybe I can take a look at it if I want to make sure I touch on the important things that I discovered when I was driving, talking. But if I follow a script, it's not natural, and that's the whole point of it, right? Because if it's by talking without a plan, something genuine might arise, and I might learn something, and then I want to share it with you. So we don't know where we're going, and we don't know where we're going with this today, but we think we have a plan. We want to make sure we touch upon and document those thoughts and feelings that arose driving to Boida the second time. I can never go back in time and have the same emotions as I had then. And now I've already played that second round. I'm not going to fake it. I could, social media CC, I guess. But we have higher ambitions than that. So we're going to try to see whatever genuine thoughts and feelings arise today in light of recalling whatever came to mind on that little road trip. Is this boring? It's probably very boring to some. Maybe it's interesting to some of you, I hope. Maybe not the first time. We'll see. I'm sticking to the plan. I believe in this. I think this can be good. It might be good for me as well. Maybe that's enough. If it helps me shape my development as a golfer, that's probably reason enough. And I don't have to know, right? If it does, you never know. You can try. I gotta love this forest though. This is nice. Okay, so well, good thing I brought the script, because now I can check where to start. Where did we start? Oh yeah. Yeah. As I was driving, started thinking that I had all these feelings from playing at Borre the first time. It didn't go too well. It went okay in some ways, but a lot of my golf shots, a lot of my swings were just completely off compared to what I've felt while training, which is obviously different because there's no pressure. But I got really broken at Borre the first time, like really down. I was so disappointed and sad. I've been thinking more about that afterwards, which is right now probably even more interesting, but we have to get there naturally. So when I was driving to Borre the second time, I did not know what kind of attitude I should have approaching Borre, approaching that second round. Because I wanted to play, but part of me was also just terrified. And I was differently terrified than the first time. And that's actually where this whole thing starts, because back when I was a kid, I grew up close to Borre, but not right next to Borre, in the general area. It was a very special course. You can see it on the video. It's a beautiful, unique course, and it had a mythical aura, I think, surrounding it. Sounds a bit stupid to say, but it was special. And I think even more, since it wasn't my home club, it was because you get used to your home club. It's more special. And so when I rediscovered the golf, as I like to call it, I immediately started anticipating playing at Borre, right? Oh, I remember the feeling of Borre back in the day. It wasn't just a golf course, it was something else. Someone had managed to create this energy about it, right? There's just something special about that course. And a lot of courses have that, I know, and that's a beautiful thing in golf. Golf courses are amazingly special places. Right in the intersection, usually, many times at least, in the intersection between nature and culture. And I think they work the best when the creators and the groundskeepers and the custodians have managed to take care of and weave a golf course into the natural environment. But anyway, as soon as I started playing golf again, it's a couple of months ago now, and it was winter, I couldn't play outside. In the beginning, I had to train inside, which was perfect because I got to rediscover my swing, practice, work out, get into shape a bit before going outside. But this also gave me time to expect something. And I know I shouldn't. I can't control these things. I at least it doesn't feel like it. But I immediately started anticipating, looking forward to playing at Borre, and I immediately got attached, unwittingly, to my progression, to getting good. That's not bad, but it has its downsides. So I have this voice I noticed this voice inside my head that said you can get good. I think you can get good. And then there's another voice that started seeping up from the depths of my subconscious, whispering, hey, what if you're already good? What if you're there a bit, right? It's a dangerous thing, right? What if you're already where that first voice thinks is good, and then you can go even further, and it's half based on reality, half based on, I don't know, processes inside, hope, probably, desperation, maybe a bit, naivety, just beautiful naivety. But I could see myself getting a little bit better. I was training a lot, hitting a lot of shots, and working on my swing, and then it's easy to start thinking, right? Maybe I'm already there, so then I could go even further, right? That would be fun. That would be, and then it's like the target just moves every day. But the voice gets greedier and greedier. And I hadn't played outside for so many years. So many years. So I hadn't had the opportunity to validate any of these thoughts yet before going to Boida. And the second voice was getting kind of cocky. What if? It's the what if, the good what if voice that becomes a curse. It started saying things like, imagine you go on that course and you just slaughter it, right? You just humble that course. And everyone is like, oh, look at Chris, he's so good. He hasn't even played that much. And there's champagne, confetti. Ooh. So stupid. And even now I'm mocking it, I can feel a bit. I can feel it. The kind of hold that voice has on me. But who cares, right? It's cute. I can believe in myself. That's pretty harmless. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt anyone. So yeah, whatever, man. That's probably part of why I'm jumping into this opportunity to have fun, to try really hard. So there's nothing wrong with that, but the problem is that there's a third voice, and that third voice, it goes, well, what if you're not? What if you're not good? What if you just think you're good? You just think you can get good, but you're not, and you can't. Then what? Right? You already told the world, hey, I'm Chris, I'm gonna get good at golf. And I really don't care. I honestly don't. I care about a lot of things. Too much. But I don't care that I told you, or the world, the small little world that has watched me up until now, here or wherever. I don't care that I told you guys that I want to get good, because that's okay. I told myself. That's what matters. That's where the shame comes in, I think, I don't know. Is it shame? I don't really think it's shame. Shame just feels like an easy word. It just feels like it's not shame. Something else. But I know it doesn't have anything to do with you guys. Other people. Right? I know that. Because anyone who's ever tried golf knows that it's hard. It's rough. And you get better, of course, when you practice. Then you get worse, you don't know why. We all know that feeling. And it's like, who gives a fuck, right? Who cares? That I put myself out there and said I'm going to get good at golf. But I do. I care. At least I know that I care. And I didn't choose to care. I just woke up one day and had started to care about the golf. Honestly, it was beautiful, because you can't choose to care about. You can't choose to care. And that's a driver. It's not that kind of driver, but good pun. It drives me forward towards something in life, and it got me up. Got me up from my chair, from the couch, from being what's the word? Not moving, lazy, something. I can't find it. Where's that word? From being, whatever. You get me. Because I've quickly realized that in order to progress in golf the way I wanted, I also needed to work out. I have seen that modern golfers spend a lot of time working out. They focus on their physique more than I can remember. We were taught when I did kid junior golf 25 years ago. It feels like it was primarily technical and relaxed. And now you have probably, some of you know more about this development than I do yet, but most modern pro golfers, top level golfers work out a lot. So I was like, okay, let's go. Let's work out a lot. And then it dawned on me, right, that for the first time, seriously, I think for the first time ever, I felt my own inner motivation to go and lift weights. Because I'm a bit lucky. I got pushed to train to work out a bit in my late adolescent years, but it wasn't my motivation. But I was taught. I learned how to push myself really, really hard. I ran until I puked. I ran until my legs gave in, and I remember after a half marathon, just unofficial. It was a 20 kilometer round, whatever. And when I was coming home, suddenly my legs didn't hold me, so I just crashed into the asphalt. And the run I wasn't fast. I'm not trying to brag, but I learned how to push myself to the edge and just a bit beyond. So I know the feeling of, this workout I gave everything I could. There's nothing that I couldn't possibly have worked out harder in my condition at this moment. So even though I haven't been really strong, I haven't been really fast, I've been just okay. I know the feeling of pushing myself, and I think that's quite useful. So I'm thankful that I learned that back in the day, because I could quickly get into working out, to doing strength training right now. That's an interesting place. You want to take a look? Let's do a little detour. Whatever this is, huh? What do you think this is? Maybe looks like maybe it's just like a training place for horses. It wasn't that interesting. Where were we? Oh yeah, I know how to push myself. But what was new was I wanted to. Now I wanted to. And that was a great feeling. It has been such a great feeling. And especially when it comes to strength training, to lifting weights, I always found that quite boring and meaningless. And it is meaningless in a certain sense, right? Because you just move weights up and down. It doesn't really serve a purpose other than making you stronger if you want to get stronger. And that's what happened, right? It's like Sisyphus. If Sisyphus seems pointless, he pushes the rock up the hill, and then it just rolls back down, and he has to go down and push it up again. But it's the other way around, right? Sisyphus, he knows what's up, right? He doesn't push the rock up the hill to let it roll back down. He lets it roll back down so he can push it back up, because then he gets stronger, right? And I don't know, I just couldn't relate. But now I can, and it's so fun. I want to go, right now I want to go work out, but now we're talking, so we can work out later. But I'm appreciative of that. I appreciate it. It has given me a lot of momentum and joy in life. It's given me an energy that I didn't know I was lacking. So yeah, that's something, right? And it has made everything more fun. It's kind of weird, but it's very interesting. Probably a sign that I was lacking inner motivation to exercise and express myself with a physical activity. Because I'm excited to get up. I sing and jump and dance around in my living room. I'm looking forward to the next time I get to work out or play. And it's just very valuable. It's hard to express how valuable that is. I feel changed in a good way. There was something lacking, and for some weird reason, golf came and filled that hole. But I have a point, though. We were going somewhere with this, and we have to get somewhere, or else this whole walk and talk is it's a bit pointless. It's like a journey. We have to return to where we started, but with a new perspective, like the hero's journey. Comparing this walk and talk to the epics of the human narratives. But we can use it as a metaphor, right? Because we are going back to where we started. But I wanna return with the lesson. You know, seeing that in a new light. So there's a point. You'll have to bear with me for a little bit longer. But I was going to Borre for the second time. And I was thinking about the first time, which you might have seen because it's out on YouTube. And I was destroyed, devastated. And you might see it. My body language isn't very jolly. It broke me, honestly. I was in such a bad mood. I was disappointed. I was scared. But then, you know, I could have just forgotten that, hidden that. There was something inside that drove me to embrace it or accept it. I didn't want to run away from it. So I did my best. I tried to make the video as good as I could, and I went through all those bad shots. I shot traced them. Right? I spent time and energy to present my fiasco to you. And I think it's because I had this sense that there was a deeper meaning to this. Right? Why? How could that be? How could a bad round, terrible, awful round that mentally just humbled me, right? And it didn't feel in a good way. It's good to be humble, but you can get humbled in a not so good way. I presume everyone has had a taste of that feeling at some point in life. How could that round be afterwards? How could it be? How could it have like a taste of auspiciousness? Perhaps a faint promise of something important, right? And I think it was because in order for me to get that crushed by that round mentally, emotionally, I had to have cared. I have to care that much to break mentally. It proves that it matters to me, that something matters that much. I feel like I look a bit stupid today. I'm not used to holding this camera up in my face for an hour. I lost track. It's not really working perfectly to try to recreate whatever was going on inside my mind the other day. It's wrong in some sense. It's not true to the project or to the concept of this video. There was just something I felt and thought about that day that I wanted to share in a way to kickstart this part of the project. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work when it's not right now, when it's not immediate, when it's not true or happening inside right now. So I'll have to try to access it more vicariously by staying in this moment and remembering that other moment to see if whatever thoughts appear now are able to communicate sufficiently whatever I wanted to communicate from that other recording that you'll never be able to see. And at this point, I'm a bit lost in the woods, so that's quite fitting. Anyway, what I was saying was that in order for me to be completely crushed by the way I played that round of golf at that beautiful golf course, that mythical golf course, Borre, I had to have a lot of care. It's a proof that it matters to me, something arbitrary, like how well I play golf. And you could say like, well, that's not so weird because you decided to make it a public project to get good, but it's more than that. It's a composite. That's just a part of it. And I don't think it's negative. Quite contrary. I actually think it's very positive, but it has ups and downs, or it's a curse and a blessing, a series of curses and blessings, right? So it's that third voice that's a personification of the problem. Remember, I told you I had 3 voices in my head, at least, that chimes in on my golf game, and the third voice said, what if you're not good? And this is really part of what I wanted to share. I think that I have voices in my head. It sounds a bit worrying to put it like that, but I think it's perfectly normal and healthy, and I think people have voices in their heads. I know I have experienced over the years that not everyone has the same kind of inner life as I do, but I have a very vivid consortium of imagined characters in my head, in my mind, that comments on and experiences life with me, and talks to each other and me about whatever I'm doing and how I'm approaching the situations I'm in, the choices I make, and and I'm not exaggerating actually right now. I'm just trying to put it into words to talk a bit about it, but I'm struggling because it's so rugged where I'm walking in the woods, so I can't find like a reliable path, and that definitely influences the way I express myself as well. It's easier to walk and talk when I don't have to use so much mental energy just to find a footing. Oh, what happened here? I think a bird has experienced something. I believe myself to be a normal amount of crazy, a healthy amount of crazy, and I live my life figuring stuff out with a bestiary of imaginary characters But have you probably seen or heard about the movie Inside Out? I think they do a good job of painting an example of how some people experience life, right? But in Inside Out, there's a couple of basic emotions, and they argue about how to solve how they should influence the main character to approach her life, the situations she's in. But they're kind of one-dimensional, each of them. And fear wants to do this, anger wants to do this, joy wants to do this, and at least in my case, the characters, the consortium in my mind, they're more multifaceted, a bit darker, maybe more nuanced, I guess. They can have, it's not clear. The point is, if Inside Out is a comic with for children, my inner comic looks more like Sandman. If you've ever read Sandman, probably the best graphic novel it's ever made, at least a candidate. And the point I'm making with that is that it's not clear cut for me which of the voices in my head I should listen to at any point in time, right? And this is just a very accentuated metaphor for approaching situations in life. That's how it plays out for me, because we walk around the earth not knowing what will happen next. We never have perfect information. And then in any situation, we are faced with a decision. And we have no way of knowing for sure what kind of choice will lead to what kind of outcome. And there are signs, we have experiences, other people might have opinions, and all these different perspectives on now. For me, they take shape as characters in my mind, and then these characters just behave like they talk to each other, they argue, and I listen in my mind's ear, I participate mentally, and I discuss with myself, which is this obviously is just a discussion with myself. What should I do? What have I done? How will this play out? And instead of me just, thinking about it, I envision it like different characters trying to figure something out together. Which is actually, it's a bit exciting, I think. I got more aware of this in recent years after talking a lot with a friend. Because for him it's not like this. And then we had a laugh, right? Because what is going on inside Chris's mind? It's a circus. Honestly, it's a circus, but it's my circus, so I love it. However, some of these voices aren't always... Most of the time they help me out, right? Almost all of the time they help me out. And I think that all the time they want to help me out. It's a weird thing to say, right? These are manifestations of psychological processes that have evolved over eons, and they have just taken the shape, right, taken this form inside me, trying to preserve me, probably something like that. And in my instance, luckily, probably definitely because of external factors as well, most of the time things work out. Okay, I'm still here, which is something in the larger scheme of things. But sometimes these voices, they're wrong, right? Like, I think this third voice might be, when it comes to golf right now, and it says, what if you're not good? And then I crash. And it's weird because when I say it out loud, I know, what if, yeah, so what? What if I'm not good? Who, like, so what? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't hurt anyone. I just want to be good, and I thought I might have already gotten a bit good, and it turns out maybe not. Right? So what? Who cares? Why does that make me feel so bad? I don't know. I have some ideas. I have some hypotheses. It brings up some memories. I might go into that at some other point in time. But right now, the truth is, I don't know. All I know is I don't want it to ruin this very positive project for me. And I don't want it to be in the way of me getting good, because it's actually in the way. So I had to find a different attitude approaching Borre for the second time. So now we're approaching full circle, right? This is where it started. And before I got in the car to drive there, I didn't notice this really at the time, but I was heading out and my wife said to me, "Good luck," right? And I said, "Thanks." And I thought, yeah, I really need it, because I could feel it today. How is this gonna go, right? And I knew how much of a difference it would make to my feelings if I played good. It would just turn everything upside down or down up again, and I would be exhilarated. But if I played worse, I would be like, what am I doing wrong? So I really felt like I needed that luck. And then it dawned on me, why? Why do I feel like I need to be wished luck, right? What is random? What is luck-based today? What feels out of my control, and why does it matter? And my golf game does. I'm just not there yet. And I know everyone feels like their golf game is a bit luck-based. Even the best. But I think that was the wrong perspective to have to bring into this, because I wasn't just going out to play golf. I was going to get in the car, drive to the golf course, set up my camera, film every shot, walk through the course with a close friend on a beautiful day. And I could do that. There's no luck involved. I could do my job, right? But I wouldn't know for sure how well I would play. But who cares? I'm only going out to do my job, and however well or badly it goes, that's how it goes. But there's no luck involved, or I don't need luck to be able to do my job. And that helped. It helped, really. But it didn't, completely transform me. I'm still pretty emotionally attached to how well I perform. And it's not an active feeling I have right now, so it feels a bit dull telling you about it, but it's the best I can do right now. And I decided to try to go to Borre, and instead of, I felt a bit humoristically, I felt bad for Borre as well, the poor old golf course that has become this kind of threatening entity inside me in my psychological drama. But Borre is just a golf course, poor course. It doesn't judge me, just allows me to play on it. So I wanted to go to Borre and say, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna put you on an imaginary pedestal, and I'm just gonna go play and allow Borre as a course to welcome me, to embrace me, and just play, just do whatever, I'm going to do my job, and then the golf game will have to come, right? So I did. I went to Borre. I had a different attitude because I had talked and thought in the car some of the things I have told you about now, and some other things that I didn't remember or didn't come to, and they're lost forever on a recording that won't ever work. And you will get to join me on that round. But I haven't cut it yet, so I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not even going to tell you how it went. But it went the way it went. And that's okay, because I did my job. And I did it well. I actually did it well. I did it better than the first time. I filmed every shot. Oh, no, I didn't. Well, that's a spoiler too. You'll see in the video, I didn't film every shot because of something kind of hilarious that happened. But I filmed almost every shot, and I filmed them well. And I didn't waste any time. I wasn't slower than I'm supposed to be. So that's actually something I have been thinking a lot about after the second round. No, but that is something I have been thinking about afterwards. And I think maybe it gave me space to think about those things as well. Because I've really wanted to go through with this project, to film my golf rounds and bring you along and make good videos of it. But I'm also a bit afraid of being slow on the course. It's pretty packed here in Norway in the hours that I can play. There's too few courses around Oslo for people, so it's busy all the time. One thing I don't want to do is cause a delay. So I've prioritized keeping up the pace, and you know, I'm, I have to be honest again, I guess. I'm afraid of making excuses because it feels so easy and dangerous, and it's kind of, I'm wondering which of which part of me wants to make the excuses, and I'm not sure if it's okay or not, if it makes me look in a certain way. I want to, I don't want to make unhealthy excuses because I want to connect with what really improves my game and what keeps me true to myself. But when I play badly, it's tempting to make excuses. So here's a bunch of excuses that are relevant, but at least I'm trying to be conscious about them being excuses, because I also want to be conscious about the fact that I just didn't play as well as I wanted to. That's okay. I have to deal with that instead of escape it. That's the dangerous part with excuses, right? So when I play a round of golf, I haven't played many rounds of golf in many, many years. And just playing takes a certain amount of time. And now I have to film everything as well. So I have to spend a certain part of that time placing the camera, getting a good angle, thinking about where to place the camera, starting and stopping the recording. And I'm not allowing myself to play any slower than I would without filming, which means something has to give. So mentally preparing for the shot gives. Obviously, there's a lot of walking, and we walk here in Norway. I know people don't walk everywhere, or everyone doesn't even walk here, but it's more of a health thing to have a cart in Norway. But in any case, one can spend some time between the shots to prepare, but there's something that has to be done once you're at the ball. So I spend the time I need to place the camera, and then I shoot. And I've finished 18 holes in 4 hours while shooting everything, so I think it's fine time-wise, but it's a bit stressful, to be honest. I enjoy it though, but it would be nice to have an extra hour, but I can't delay other people. I don't feel like that's okay. So that's one thing. I mean, it's the thing, I think. That's my excuse, because everything else is just me, myself, and I. The filmmaking is an extra thing. We're probably gonna get used to that, and we have to find some kind of camera setup that is reliable. I'm gonna try other kinds of cameras and other kinds of ways to fix the camera. But yeah, that's where we are. And now we're back as well, so it's a good time to start looking for the end of our little walk and talk. I didn't plan this out, so probably just keep you here while closing the gap. See if anything else sensible appears. I don't know what to do with this concept yet. This video concept. I'll share with you what I've thought is that getting good at golf is the first project on my channel on Krokket, and it's a good start because that's what kickstarted it for me. But it's not. It doesn't have to end there, and hopefully, maybe at some point I will have become better, good enough that it's not exciting, fresh anymore to have the project be defined as I'm getting back into golf and getting good, and then we will have to redefine the project together. It's going to be like part 2, and I don't know when that is. Maybe we could guess together, but in a year or 2 or 3. But getting there entails a lot of practice, and I think it's 3 parts. I think it's technical golf practice. I think it's physical strength training, mobility training, and I think it's mental. So I want to take you along, bring you along for these 3 parts of the journey. And obviously it's going to have to be mostly part 1, the golf thing, because that's why we're here. So that's the most exciting. But it wouldn't work without the other part. So I haven't figured out yet how to document my strength training, my physical exercise. It's probably not that hard, but we will find out in the weeks to come. But this is one approach to showing you truthfully the mental part of the journey, because it's easy to go on a range or a simulator or a course and hit golf balls and record a swing, show movements and progression. It's easy to put a camera on a small tripod in the gym and show, oh, look at me, I'm doing squats. It's not so easy to open up a mind. So we have to try. And it's not interesting if it's not genuine. So we have to try to be genuine as well, which is a bit intimidating. Because this is, it's a vulnerable thing. But it's fine, it's human, it's natural. And I hope it will be part of something valuable to me, and I hope it will be of interest to some of you. So I'll probably just leave it at that. Good talk. And I'll see you